Good morning, everyone. I was just reflecting the other day that I can't believe this, it's something like 42 years ago that Carl and I went to America, and we travelled around America. We started off in San Francisco, worked our way down to Los Angeles, and then we took a Greyhound bus and we worked our way across America and finally got to the east coast of Philadelphia, Washington and New York. And the day we went to New York, we decided to go and visit the Empire State Building. And so we went to the reception and went to the ticket office and asked for 2 tickets for the top viewing deck of the Empire State Building. And the lady looked at me really surprised, and she said, "Have you not seen this?" And she pointed behind her, and there was a sign that said, "Visibility at the top, 0." She said, "You won't be able to see anything. It's really misty, it's foggy. So there's absolutely no point in going up." And I said, "Can I have 2 tickets for the top?" She said, "But you realise you won't be able to see anything." I said, "I do need to say to you, we've not travelled thousands of miles to then go home and be asked by our friends, 'Did you go to the top of the Empire State Building?' and for us to say no. So we really need tickets to go up." And so she laughed and gave us tickets, and up we went. And sure enough, at the top, you couldn't see anything. But we thought we'd hang around for a wee bit. And after about 25 minutes, we began to see small dots of cars down below in the street. And after about another 10-20 minutes, actually the fog had lifted, the sky was clear, the sun was splitting the skies, and we were able to take photographs and actually go home and prove to everybody that we'd been up the Empire State Building. I sometimes think that it can be like that in our lives, in the whole spiritual realm, that sometimes it's like the mist descends, the fog kind of falls around us, and it becomes difficult to see anything, it becomes difficult to see God's purpose for us, it becomes difficult for us to feel that we're connecting with God. It becomes difficult to see God working in our situation, and that can be really difficult. There's a verse in the Psalms, in Psalm 27 verse 14, it says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord." And then there's that verse in Psalm 40 where he says, "I waited patiently for the Lord." Well, it's one thing to wait, it's another thing to wait patiently. All of us can wait, but waiting patiently is very difficult. And yet that day in the Empire State Building made me realise that sometimes if you wait, things can change and the fog can lift, and all of a sudden you can begin to see things clearly again. In the Old Testament, the watchman used to sit and, it says in the Psalms, he waits for the dawn. And so he waits through the night, he watches through the night in the knowledge that the dawn is coming, that the day will arrive. If you've ever struggled to sleep at night, you'll know what that's like. It can be a long night if you're just lying awake in bed. But the reality is that the day does come and the dawn does rise and you can begin again. And maybe for some of us right now, our experience is like a bit in the night, or a bit as the fog has descended. Maybe there are things that we can't see, or maybe we feel it's night around us and it's going to be a long night and it's frustrating and it's uncomfortable and it's tedious. And yet God encourages us to wait patiently, to be able to rest in Him at the moment, to be able to sit before Him. For the dawn will come, the day will arise, the morning star will return. And that's a confidence, and that's the hope that God gives us, and that's the confidence and that's the hope that God gives to us at the moment in the middle of challenging circumstances. So this week, remember that Psalm 27 verse 14, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord." Our thanks to everybody who's been praying this morning, or who are still praying. Just a real struggle at the moment for the NHS. I sit on a Sunday morning with a mask on here at church, and that can be quite frustrating and quite difficult, and yet I see scenes of people with full PPE on and masks, and find it incredible that people are having to work like that for 8 hours a day. It's no wonder that people are struggling. So let's continue to pray for those who work in the NHS, pray for those in our fellowship who work in the NHS. This week we're continuing our studies and lessons in the wilderness, and we're going to celebrate communion together. So please bring some bread and some wine and we'll share that together. In the meantime, be patient, wait on the Lord. Have a good week. God bless.